Hey everyone, welcome back to Breaking the Cycle. I'm Kelly. This is episode 7 of the podcast. And if you're new here, this is also my Substack newsletter read out loud, so you can learn on the go without losing anything. Every single week in my clinic, I see the same thing. Someone comes in with chronic pain that won't go away. We work on it, they feel better, and then they leave. 2 weeks later, they're back with the exact same problem. And when I ask them what they've been doing differently, they list everything: stretching, working out, eating better. And then I ask the one question that changes everything: but are you resting? Silence. Today, we're talking about recovery and why it might be the most important thing you're not doing. Let's get into it. I see this pattern in my massage therapy clinic almost every single week. Someone comes in with chronic pain, tight shoulders, a lower back pain that won't quit, neck tension that's been there for months. I work on their muscles, they feel better, and then they leave. 2 weeks later, they're back with the same pain. I don't understand, they say. I've been stretching, I've been working out, I'm doing everything right. Then I ask the question that changes everything: are you resting? Silence. I don't have time to rest. And there it is. The problem with our hustle culture. We've been taught that rest is lazy, that taking a day off means you're not committed, that pushing through pain is strength. No pain, no gain, right? As a former firefighter, I totally get it. We were trained to push through exhaustion, sleep when we're dead, show up no matter what. But here's what 11 years of firefighting taught me that took years to unlearn. And I still feel like I'm unlearning it today. Your body is not a machine, and treating it like one will break it. Here's what I see every day. In my clinic, I work with people who are training for marathons while sleeping 5 hours a night, doing CrossFit 6 days a week with 0 rest days, working 50 plus hours per week, then hitting the gym before and after, taking care of kids, aging parents, and running businesses without a single recovery practice. Their bodies are screaming. Chronic muscle tension that won't release, inflammation that never goes down, injuries that just won't heal, fatigue that rest doesn't fix, and a pain that keeps coming back. And they all ask me the same thing: what exercise or stretch should I add to fix this? The answer isn't more exercise, and it's definitely not more stretching. Please, no more stretching. The answer is recovery. What recovery actually looks like isn't just taking a day off. Recovery is the active practice of helping your body repair, rebuild, and adapt to stress. Think about it. You break down muscle fibers when you strength train. You create micro tears when you move intensely. You deplete energy stores when you're active. And you accumulate metabolic waste products during exercise. If you don't give your body time and resources to repair those things, you don't get stronger. You break down. Here are some types of recovery you can be missing out on. Number 1, sleep, which is the foundation of everything. I covered this in detail in my post about waking up at 3 a.m., but let me say it again. Sleep is when your body does 90% of its repair work. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormones, which repairs muscle tissue. Your brain clears metabolic waste, which prevents cognitive decline. Your immune system rebuilds, which fights inflammation and disease. And your nervous system resets to help lower that cortisol. So no sleep or poor sleep equals no recovery. Period. If you're training hard but sleeping 5 to 6 hours, you're not building strength. You're accumulating the damage. Number 2, active recovery, which is movement that heals. Recovery does not mean laying on the couch all day, though sometimes that's needed, and with a child, it's nearly impossible to even think about that. Active recovery means moving in ways that promote blood flow, reduce inflammation, and help your body clear waste products without adding new stressors. Examples could be walking, which is the most underrated recovery tool out there, gentle yoga or light stretching, swimming or light cycling, mobility flows, which is what I tend to do on the weekends, which is moving your joints through full ranges of motion. No weights required. Active recovery days should leave you feeling better, not depleted. I do this with my son every weekend. We go for walks, play at the park, move our bodies without any agenda. It's not exercise, it's recovery that looks like play. Number 3, myofascial release. What I try to do almost every single day. Your fascia, the connective tissue that wraps around your muscles, gets tight, restricted, and adhered when you sit all day, train intensely, experience chronic stress, don't move through full ranges of motion, lack in hydration. This is why your muscles feel knotted and why stretching alone doesn't fix it. Myofascial release reduces these adhesions and restores movement. Don't get all tied up in the buzzword of fascial training and all of that. Everything that you do with movement is going to be training your fascia. So, buzzword and buzzkill, don't fall for the hype. Tools I use for myofascial style release are going to be foam rollers, which is my favorite for big muscle groups like quads, back, latissimus dorsi, all of those big muscles. You can also use a lacrosse ball, massage ball, or tennis ball for targeted trigger points like glutes, shoulder, and feet. And then there are also the massage sticks for calves, IT bands, etc. My protocol is usually 5 to 10 minutes of foam rolling at night while I watch TV with my son or pre-workout. I hit the spots that are tight, slow and sustained pressure usually works, and I just breathe through it. This should be a daily maintenance protocol if you have the time and resources. It's quick, easy, and free. Number 4, heat and cold therapy. Heat promotes blood flow and relaxes muscles. So this could come in the form of a sauna if you have access, hot bath or shower, which is the form that I use, or heating pads on tight areas, which is another form that I can use. If you have the time, you can also take Epsom salt baths 2 to 3 times per week. Epsom salts provide magnesium, which most people are deficient in anyway. Magnesium relaxes muscles, reduces inflammation, and supports sleep. Side note, again, if you are a busy business owner, parent, all of the above, you don't have time for baths. I can't tell you the last time I took a bath, nor do I want to take a bath in the same bath that my son takes a bath in because it's full of toys and disgusting. So, Epsom salt baths are just not on my to-do list. Cold reduces inflammation, speeds recovery, but key thing here is to use sparingly. Ice bath or cold plunge if you're super hardcore. I'm not a fan of being cold, so I will also tell you that I don't do any of these. A cold shower, you can finish with 30 to 60 seconds at the end of every shower and do cold, or an ice pack on acute injuries or inflamed areas, but think more arthritic pain, not general soreness pain. The science is still kind of wishy-washy on this because they're now saying don't ice. So just check the latest science, make sure that you are up to date on that. You can also do contrast therapy, which is alternating hot and cold, and this is usually more effective because it pumps blood in and out, flushing metabolic waste and delivering nutrients. Now, let me be clear here. Heat and cold therapy, I feel like, is a little bit more of an advanced recovery tool. I feel like most elite athletes, bodybuilders, anybody that is doing a bodybuilding show or a CrossFit competition or anything like that, that's usually when you're going to use like the contrast therapies and stuff like that. I wouldn't necessarily put this in the top tier of recovery things to do. It's just a little aggressive. And last but not least, number 5, nutrition for recovery. Your body can't repair itself without the raw materials. So, protein, you want to get about zero point 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight daily, which also depends on your goals and how active you are. If you get this much, it repairs muscle tissue, supports immune function, and keeps you satiated. Healthy fats, especially omega 3s, reduce inflammation, supports hormone production, aids nutrient absorption, is really good for, again, like hormones, especially for women that go super low fat. They tend to lose their periods, which is not good. Colorful veggies provides antioxidants to fight oxidative stress, supports immune system, reduces systemic inflammation. Think eating every color of the rainbow. And then hydration. Your body weight in pounds divided by 2 is the amount of ounces of water you should be drinking daily, and then more if you're training hard or it's super hot outside. If you're training intensely but eating inflammatory processed foods, and not getting enough protein, you're really working against yourself. Number 6, nervous system downregulation. This ties back to stress management, but it's worth repeating. If your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight mode, your body can't recover. And to be completely honest, over half of my clients at my massage therapy clinic are probably stuck in fight or flight mode. Recovery happens when your parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest, is active. So here are some things to activate it. Breath work, 4-7-8 breathing, box breathing, gentle stretching or yoga, meditation or practice mindfulness, time in nature, laughter, play, and connection. I try and do breath work every night before bed. It signals my body that it's safe to rest and repair. Here's the firefighter lesson I had to learn the hard way. When I was on the job, I thought rest was weakness. I'd work 24-hour shifts, come home exhausted, and still try to work out or be productive. My body started breaking down. Chronic injuries, constant fatigue, immune system tanking, feeling puffy and bloated always. I thought I just needed to push harder, train smarter, eat cleaner. What I actually needed was to rest. The crappy part is I didn't really learn all of this stuff until I was already gone from the fire service. Once I started prioritizing sleep, adding recovery days, foam rolling consistently, and giving my body time to repair, everything changed. I got stronger, my injuries healed, and my energy came back. The missing piece wasn't more effort, it was recovery. And side note, I always wondered what it would have been like to have learned and incorporated these tactics while still on the job. Would I have been able to stay longer, recover faster? They didn't teach us any of this in fire school, but I feel the shift coming for all of you first responders. What my dad didn't do. So, my dad is 65 and he's dealing with the beginning stages of some medical issues. But here's the deeper thing his body had no resilience to handle all of the side effects that he's experiencing. And why is that? Because for decades, he didn't prioritize sleep. He actually worked night shifts most of his life. He never did mobility work or stretching. He ate inflammatory foods that kept his body in a constant state of stress. And he didn't practice any recovery, which, granted, in that day and age, like all of this stuff wasn't even a thing. It's pretty big now just because social media, but back in the day, everybody was just like slap a band-aid on it, take some Aleve, and you'll be all right. His body had no buffer, so when the antibiotics damaged his tendons, he had nothing to fall back on. If he had been doing daily mobility work, eating anti-inflammatory foods, and supporting his body's natural repair processes, would he still have these issues? Maybe not. Recovery isn't just about bouncing back from workouts. It's about building resilience against everything life throws at you. So here's the reality check. I know what you're thinking. I don't have time for all of this. I get it. I'm a mom. I run a business. I have clients all day. I'm watching my dad's health decline. I'm trying to take care of myself while taking care of everyone else. I don't have hours for recovery either. But here's what I do have time for: 10 minutes of foam rolling while I watch something with my son on TV, 5 minutes of breath work before bed, an Epsom salt bath twice a week while I decompress from the day. I already said I don't do that, but it's on the list. A 20-minute walk on my rest day instead of a workout. And I make sure to eat protein at every single meal to support tissue repair. That's it. Not hours, just intentional, consistent practices that slowly add up. Start here. Pick one recovery practice to implement this week. Foam roll for 10 minutes before bed, take an Epsom salt bath, add one active recovery day that includes walking or gentle yoga. Do 5 minutes of breath work before sleep. Finish your shower with the 30 to 60 seconds of cold water. Good luck. Have fun with that. Get 7 to 8 hours of sleep, non negotiable. Do that one thing for 7 days. Notice how your body feels. Recovery isn't lazy, it's damn essential. The bigger picture here is that recovery is just one of the 5 foundations, but without it, sleep doesn't repair you as effectively. Stress accumulates and never releases. Nutrition can't rebuild what's broken down, and movement creates more damage instead of strength. I'm sure you've heard it before, but I'm going to hammer it home. You cannot out-train for recovery. You'll just break down faster. If this resonates with you, subscribe to Breaking the Cycle newsletter on Substack, where I go even deeper every week. And if you're a paid subscriber, your free recovery protocol guide is waiting in your inbox. Next week, we're talking nutrition because recovery isn't just about what you do, it's about what you eat. The foods you're putting in your body are either helping you heal or fueling the inflammation that's tearing you down. I'm Kelly, and let's break the cycle.